Are you streaming?
Yes.
God damn it.
Fuck.
Unlock access door.
There we go. Sorry, one second.
Everything wanted, like every single version of my stream wanted to be loud as shit all simultaneously.
Oh, really?
Right, where was I when we ended up last?
No clue.
Great.
I assume you finished the chapter.
Please?
That is cold. Last time I felt a chill like this was on the surface.
There we go, rushing ahead.
Well, one way to find out.
Just fixed it, I
in the name of
think.
Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
But I never got to the surface. Okay.
I understand.
I finally got Demeter.
But you would seek to leave that bitter darkness for
Did you
this
post
game
the
is-
video or?
Quite honestly,
Yeah.
I fail to see why.
Okay, you posted it. I'll go for that.
Why not? For I can offer plenty of assistance.
This game is great.
Soon shall grow fond of it, I think.
What?
I have the power of the freezing surface now.
Reload.
Felt something. Ready for me? Thank the fates. Ringers.
I think I've seen this.
Keep them coming. Lord Zeus.
I gather Lady Demeter's already got a frigid
Got it.
hold on you. Certainly not the warmest.
Electric.
Goodness sake, one moment.
I want this one.
Sorry, wrong chamber. And I'm locked in.
Even with both Achilles and Hector now dead, the war raged on, unabated until Odysseus came up with his cunning. The Trojan horse has so embedded itself in a popular consciousness that today a Trojan refers to a computer virus that, like a horse at Troy, gets within the protected area and opens up all sorts of nastiness from the outside. As in Troy, when the Greeks did finally get within the walls, the extent of that nastiness was profound. Profound enough that Scilliman in the modern era to claim he had found evidence of the violence of the Greek sack of the city. There was a general massacre of the male population, which was almost to be expected. However, many women were killed as
I'm
well,
back.
and not simply in the passion of the moment. Hello.
Sorry, my mum phoned me and I had to go to my Be Right Back screen.
It's alright. Greek outrages to the laws of gods and men included Polyxena, or human sacrifice. The youngest daughter of Priam was cold-bloodedly sacrificed by Neoptolemus, who cut her throat at the grave of Achilles, but the Greeks believed it was she who revealed the secret of Achilles' vulnerability to Paris. For this, Neoptolemus was doomed to in turn die at the hands of Orestes, the son of Agamemnon, as it happened. Infanticide, the infant son of Hector was thrown from the walls of Troy so as to extinguish the hero's family line. Desecration. In their fury, the Greeks did not even spare the temples of the gods from the general destruction. One of the most shocking events from the Greek perspective was the sacrilegious assault of Cassandra by an Ajax, not the hero mentioned above, but another of the same name, sometimes called the Lesser Ajax. Cassandra had fled to the sanctuary of Athena and clung to Athena's statue so hard it toppled when Ajax Minor pulled her off it and proceeded to do the deed then there. Given that the maiden goddess had a strong view about people having sex in her temple, let alone assaulting people in her temple, the assault on the premises of a supplant under her protection was hardly going to pass without comment. The horrified Greeks wanted to distance themselves from the event by killing Ajax Minor on the spot, but he saved himself by clinging to the very statue he had defied.
Power of Olympus.
The conduct of the Greeks at the fall of Troy so outraged Athena and Poseidon that they actively turned against all but the best behaved of their former protégés. The withdrawal of their protection left Apollo and Aphrodite a free hand with the rest. Apollo was known for flamboyantly unrestrained vengeance, while Aphrodite was no less nasty for being so. Few Greeks made it home alive. Some simple cases include Ajax Minor. The ship carrying the disgraced rapist predictably came to grief on the return voyage, but the hero struggled to safety on one of the same rocks that had wrecked his ship. He was loudly praising his ability to save himself despite the gods when Poseidon split the rock with his trident, and Athena finished him off with a lightning strike.
I don't suppose you've given any further thought to my proposal to just...
Agamemnon. Aphrodite took a special interest in his case.
I'll take that as a-
Under her influence, the wife of Agamemnon had taken a lover, Theseus, in her husband's absence. Clementra also carried a grudge for the fate of her daughter, Iphigenia. Agamemnon was relaxing in a bath when his wife dropped a net over him to prevent his struggle and dispatched him. By some reports, she killed Cassandra at the same time. The long tradition of murder, assault and incest in the family was continued by Agamemnon's children, Orestes and Electra, who ganged up on Clementra and Theseus in revenge. Orestes was pursued by the Furies until Athena, in a monumental triumph for civilization, persuaded the Furies to defer to the judgment of the human court, which acquitted him. Diomedes had various adventures on his way home, but still enjoyed the protection of Athena, and so, for example, escaped by the skin of his teeth from being sacrificed to Ares when he wrecked on an unfriendly shore. He finally got home to discover that Aphrodite had arranged for his wife to become unfaithful. In disgust, the hero left once more, eventually ending up in Italy. Aphrodite continued to protect Helen, whom Menelaus had found unable to kill, and indeed Helen long outlived her vengeful husband. Odysseus the Greek and Aeneas the Trojan both struggled to find home.
So much for
Odysseus sought his ancestral kingdom and his beloved Penelope, while Aeneas searched for a new home for his surviving Trojans. Almost the last tales of the heroic age are stories of the long homeward voyages of these two men, to which now turn the Odyssey by the Greek poet Homer and the Aeneid by the Roman poet Virgil come chronologically at the end of the heroic age and focus on one hero apiece. Each of these sagas is a tour de force of the world of myth, as well as travelogue on the magical Mediterranean world, featuring bizarre creatures, exotic peoples, and a landscape packed with wonder and hazard. What Homer and Virgil have done superbly this chapter will not attempt to imitate. Its purpose instead is to give an overall framework to these epic journeys, so that the readers who are vaguely familiar with the incidents such as the land of Lotus Eaters, or Aeneas and Dido, can see these episodes as in their overall context. A translated quote from the Odyssey is, "Tell me, O Muse, of the ingenious hero who travelled far and wide after he had sacked the famous town of Troy. Many cities did he visit, and many were the nations with whom manners and customs he was acquainted. Moreover, he suffered much by sea while trying to save his own life and bring his men safely home. But do what he might, he could not save his men. Since no one had done more to bring about the fall of Troy than Odysseus, the wily hero should have known better than to expect an easy ride home. Hera and Apollo were thirsting for vengeance, and even Zeus was annoyed by what the Greeks had done to Troy, which meant that Athena was hard-pressed to keep her protege in one piece. Under these circumstances, crewing Odysseus' ships was essentially a suicide mission. But at least the crewmen could expect luridly colourful, extremely varied, and highly unusual deaths. The story, as told by Homer, is convoluted with multiple flashbacks and digressions. Straightened out into chronological order, here is what befell Odysseus on his way home. The first stop on the way home was at Ismaros, as was perfectly standard for the Mycenaean Greeks. Odysseus' men attacked the nearest town, that of Caesons. They slaughtered the men and cattle and divvied the women and treasure among themselves. Odysseus was unable to get his men to cease enjoying the spoils before the rest of the countryside was roused to arms and fell upon the marauding Greeks. The battle-hardened veterans of Troy gave a good account of themselves, but were forced to flee. Next, Zeus was for the first time showed his disapproval of the loutish conduct of the Greeks, and hit Odysseus' little fleet with a powerful storm that sent ships far off course. With the sails torn to shreds and the fresh water expended, the sailors put ashore in North Africa, where they met the Lotus Eaters. The people, as the poet Tennyson memorably puts it, of quote, a land in which seems always afternoon, unquote. All who ate of the lotus became permanently demotivated, languid, and uncaring of friends or home. Odysseus eventually managed to get his crew back on board by providing external motivation through physical pain. Weeping bitterly and tied to their oars, the crewmen set sail again. Then came, quote, a monstrous being who shepherded his flocks but lived apart and alone, never socializing, with the heart set on lawlessness. This monstrous Cyclops was a child of Poseidon, and had a violent nature. Having already murdered a son of Pan, who was his rival for the love of the nymph Galatea, he was warned to beware of Odysseus. When the hero blundered into his cave, the quick-witted adventurer gave his name as Nobody. When Polyphemus added murdering and eating Odysseus' crewmen to his faults, the hero got the monster drunk and stabbed him in his one eye with a stake. Polyphemus cried out for his fellow Cyclopses that, quote, nobody, unquote, was hurting him. Thus, reassured, the other Cyclopses went back to sleep. The next day, the surviving crewmen escaped by clinging to the undersides of Polyphemus' sheep as they left the cave to pasture. This injury to his son added Poseidon to Odysseus' ever-growing roster of divine foes. Then came Aeolus. So we came where dwelt Aeolus, son of Hippotas, dear to the immortal gods on the floating island beneath Aeolus' shield left. God's sons. Apart from that, there are several characters called Aeolus in myth. Homer describes the Lord of the Winds, whose home Odysseus and his, by now somewhat depleted fleet happened upon.
I'm about to
Odysseus
fucking mute game because that ringing is giving me a headache. Sorry, Novi.
Spoons are going to be.
Oh, is there a ringing in the game, is there?
Yeah.
Ah.
Shut up!
I'm all worried.
Right, 1 minute, guys.
I should have fucking turned Master down because honestly that is giving me a headache. I'm trying to read lore and I'm just hearing brrrr, brrrr, brrrr. And I fucking dumped a magazine into it and it's still fucking going. Sorry. Shut it down. So it's more manageable.
How many of these are there?
You know, I'm actually genuinely gonna turn Master off completely. It's really that it's still doing my head in. I'll turn it back on when I'm out. Gordon Bennett, I need right away. I'm gonna get a few rataways to be honest.
Enough.
Even with Rad-X, it's still 20 rads a second. Is it because the milk overwrites the Rad-X, is it? Why would it fucking do that?
Elysium.
I genuinely don't understand.
Right, I'm back, sorry. Odysseus and his by now somewhat depleted fleet happened upon. Odysseus was his normal charming self and enjoyed the hospitality of Aelus for months. Aelus then
Status.
speeded his departure with a west wind that wafted Odysseus and his men almost back to Ithaca. Odysseus had also been given a large bag tightly sealed. Thinking the bag contained gold, the sailors opened it while Odysseus slept. In fact, it contains the east, north and south winds, and with the west wind almost expended, the other winds blew the ship right back to where they started on the island of Aelus. Aelus refused to help a second time, and Odysseus' feelings about his crew at this moment may have eased his pain at their later deaths. Aelus has given his name to various products pneumatic in the modern era, with the most famous of his wind bag, which has now become personified and gone into politics. Oh, come on, that was funny.
Emergency shutdown. Begin emergency
The Lesbians. After a weary time rowing, the fleet found a secluded harbour. This turned to be a trap where many giants threw boulders to smash the ships below. Then, harpooning and eating the men, only his own ship, with the cautious Odysseus, moored outside the harbour, escaped the carnage. Then came Circe. Circe was the daughter of Helios, the sun, and the sister of
I'll pay for that.
Thisbe, the mother of the Minotaur. She was also a powerful enchantress. She drugged the heroes' men and turned them into pigs, or in the opinion of the Victorian poet Augusta Davis Webster, Circe removed the disguise that made the men seem otherwise. 1 minute.
Well,
Oh my goodness
you're
gracious
a
me.
stranger. Plenty more shades looking to fight.
I'm just passing through. You seem less warlike than the rest. May I ask your name, sir? I'm Zagreus.
Names are there to be forgotten, stranger. You shouldn't be here.
Leave the ones behind, they're no issue to me.
But just in case they don't, here, why don't you take this?
Any rules behind me do not matter. They do not exist. That is how Bethesda games work, is anything behind me does not exist.
Take care then.
Now go.
Where am I? This'll do. Oh, hold on. Here it is.
Odysseus himself escaped transformation because Hermes, one of the few gods still on Odysseus' side, gave him a sacred root that countered Circe's potions. The sacred root was called Moly, and is probably the origin of the modern exclamation Holy Moly. Thereafter, Circe was put in Odysseus' hands, and he and his rehumanized crew enjoyed a year of feasting and frolics before they put to sea again. So, a lot of Odysseus' shit for being at sea for 10 years could have easily been explained as he overstayed his welcome in a lot of places.
Here we go, I've lost combat.
Come on.
Distracted by Circe, the involuntary adventurers went north to the city of Cimmerians, fog-bound in perpetual mist. There, by the entrance to the underworld, Odysseus performed arcade rites that allowed him to speak to the prophet Teresia. Teresia pointed out that the enmity of Poseidon was a powerful challenge to anyone planning to sail home. Yet sail Odysseus must, or suitors would arrive to court his, quote, widow, Penelope. At the end of their and eat her out of house and home. There. Then came the Sirens. One of the creatures by Circe, Odysseus blocked his men's ears with wax and ordered himself to be tied to the mast to hear their song. Then there was Scylla and Charybdis. Here, Odysseus faced the Here, Odysseus faced the unenviable choice of sailing past a whirlpool that might destroy his ship, or a monster with multiple man-eating heads that would certainly kill 6 of his crew. Odysseus opted to lose 6 more men from his rapidly dwindling band. Though Circe warned about Scylla, she forgot to mention that she had created the monster herself from a fair maid, whose lover she once fancied. Then the cattle of the sun. Next, the ship beached on an island with fat, juicy cattle. In vain, Odysseus warned his men that these should not be touched, but Zeus kept the ship trapped on the isle by an unfavourable wind. Eventually, the crew gave in to temptation and ate beef suppers for the rest of their stay. Helios, the sun god, was outraged and threatened to shine no more sun on.
Sorry.
Helios, the sun god, was outraged and threatened to shine no more sun on Earth unless his dead cattle were avenged. Zeus promptly mustered a cloud over the ship and blew it and the crew to smithereens. The only survivor of the catastrophe was Odysseus. Clinging to the splintered mast of his ship, he eventually finished up on the isle where the nymph Calypso was imprisoned for helping her father Atlas in the War of the Gods and Titans. Calypso and Odysseus hit it off, and the pair had a son together. However, Odysseus never ceased pining for Penelope and Ithaca, and after he had spent 7 long years on the islands, Athena petitioned Zeus to order Calypso to allow Odysseus to leave. Calypso was devastated, but in later ages recovered enough to give her name to a catchy genre of Caribbean folk music, and one of the moons of Saturn. Then, Nausicaa. Give me a minute. Yeah, Nausicaa. The sight of Odysseus on the water gave grim satisfaction to Poseidon, who immediately set about changing on the water to under it. The boat was smashed by storm and wave, and even the best efforts of Athena were barely enough to allow the naked and battered Odysseus to crawl ashore on an unknown beach. Here, in the morning, he was wakened by the sound of Princess Nausicaa and her maids playing. Through the field, though the maids fled at the sight of Odysseus, young Nausicaa stood her ground.
Look. Sorry.
My mum clearly doesn't give a shit when I'm doing anything. I've got to go quiet for a bit.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well,
I shall stop.
that's it for history for Hubby. I'm sorry.
I welcome you to try. So close. Watch out, vermin. Hey, boy.
Sucks.
Young Nausicaa stood her ground. She accompanied her staff to the beach to do the laundry. Fresh clothing was immediately available for the hero. Odysseus was wined and dined at the court of Nausicaa's father, and the traveller regaled them with an account of his adventures, which accounts take up a significant portion of the Odyssey of Homer. Then the king gave Odysseus a boat that rowed him safely home. Meanwhile, Penelope, wife of the absent Odysseus, had problems of her own. Odysseus was missing, presumed God-smitten, which meant that the palace was overrun with suitors for the hand of Penelope. Most importantly, the kingdom of Ithaca that went with it. Despite the bitter protest of Odysseus' son, Telemachus, the suitors abused the rules of Greek hospitality by overstaying their welcome and feasting and hunting daily. Penelope stayed in seclusion, weaving a tapestry that said she would choose a spouse when the tapestry was done. To delay the evil moment, she unpicked every day's work the following night.
Surprise.
Odysseus had learned caution after his decade-long high-risk adventure cruise, and had no intention of boldly announcing his return before he had spied out the land. It helps that his experiences both in the Trojan War and its long aftermath had led him so weathered and worn that none but his faithful hound recognized him. Athena helpfully amplified these effects to make Odysseus look even more decrepit. Telemachus had gone to Sparta to seek word of his father and was a guest of the reunited Helen and Menelaus, who were apparently living in domestic harmony, told by Athena to return and avoid the incidental ambush by the suitors on Rome. Telemachus met and joined forces with his father. Odysseus came to his own home disguised as a beggar, and there was mocked by the suitors. Together with Telemachus and Penelope, Odysseus arranged for the contest of archery in the course, of which Telemachus spirited away the suitors' weapons. The contest was something of a farce, as the chosen bow was the mighty bow of Odysseus, which none of the contestants could even strain.
Oh, hello, Zagreus.
Odysseus took his turn to general amusement. This stopped when he strung the bow and shot an arrow through the target. He then shot arrows through the suitors until he ran out of ammunition. Telemachus and some farmhands now joined in the general slaughter, which took time as there were over 100 suitors to get through. Odysseus and Athena had used a mixture of threats and diplomacy to subdue the outraged families of those they had killed. Penelope recognized her husband when he described for her the bed he had made, and the pair settled down to domestic bliss. In a later legend, Odysseus is said to have gone voyaging again, and he may have been killed by the son he had with Circe, who was out looking for him. And there's the Ennead, but I shall go over that. Well, actually, I can go over that now because that's effectively the end of the book.
Looking good.
So this will be the last history with Hubby for a little while.
So the strangest thing happened while you were out.
No, wait, I need more
Just
text.
until I go get a new book.
Then probably after this next week, the upload will probably end up being, instead of History with Hubby, it'll probably be the Odysseus, the Epic the Musical stuff.
Okay.
Calm down, Skelly.
That's just it.
the Aeneid.
Go check it out.
Though written about 1,000 years apart, the Odyssey and the Aeneid deal with contemporary subjects, so that Odysseus and Aeneas were both wandering the Mediterranean at the same time. Before I go on with this, actually, did anybody else notice the fact that, canonically speaking, it only took 10 years because Odysseus, the bastards, sat back and had a kid with another person for 7?
It hadn't, but it does now.
Yeah.
Well, can I see?
That's what it is. To be fair, that is a pretty dope outfit.
So I'm not. Okay, so now that I've pointed that out, okay. We're both wandering the Mediterranean at the same time, and, indeed, nearly bumped into each other in Sicily. Both books cover roughly a dozen episodes. In the Aeneid, the first 6 parts describe the wandering of Aeneas, and the second 6, the bloody business of establishing a new homeland in a faraway country. As with the Odyssey, the Aeneid starts midway through and uses narrative flashbacks, following chronological sequence has been brutally beaten out of Virgil's eloquent verses. Though I'm probably not. I don't know if I really want to go through it because this is a Virgil story.
And then that ends up wrenching into Christianity.
Yeah, and Virgil's stories tend to be very Christian about it. When the Greeks penetrated the city walls with the wooden horse, Aeneas fought gallantly until Aphrodite, whom from now on, following Virgil, will be referred to as Venus, informed the hero that he should concentrate on saving his family. With his aged father, Anchises, on his back, and his son, Ascanius clinging to his legs, Aeneas escaped the burning city. He went back for his wife Creusa, who had already been slain. Gathering a band of his fellow exiles, he built a small fleet and fled the Trojan shore. Notice how different it already seems. It already pulls off. With the Odyssey, it's honest about the slaughter they go into. Like, you know, it's honest about the fact that Odysseus is a bit of a dickhead. But with this, immediately, the main hero's things is family.
Get rid of my radiation sickness.
This is my issue with Virgil, is that I'm probably not gonna finish from there because, like, yeah, I'm not gonna carry on from there. It's such a clear, like, swap and indication that both it's a different writer and it's a different religion based on top of it.
That's better. Where now?
Because the way that Aphrodite works in Virgil's stories, or Venus more accurately, the way that the Venus works in Aphrodite's stories is closer to an aspect of one part of herself than another, if that makes sense.
Another key.
Yeah.
It's very Roman inspired.
Exactly.
Charon's shop.
So with that, History with Hubby comes to a close until I go and get another book, probably in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. play different games in between
I was to go and get one, probably based on like Norse mythology next.
Oh,
Maybe I
am I?
wish.
This is. But only did I go to the wrong place?
That's all.
What?
Now that your dad's done with his interview, do you wanna hop on Siege?
I'm painting right now. After I'm done painting, and if you're still able to, then yes.
Good boy.
Probably not. But I'm gonna mute for a little bit.
Right. Place a marker on Alibaba's. Let's go running. Actually, I want to listen to that song, so I am actually going to pull it up.
I'm guessing you're no longer streaming.
I'm still streaming. I've just got to try and find the song that I'm thinking of. But the only word I have is run. Yeah. Never mind. Are you done with streaming, or are you just done recording?
I'm pretty much just grinding in Hades.
Speaking of dryads and nymphs. Fuckers. Oh, there's a legendary. It's dead. Cool. I've got another L96. 50% more limb damage. I don't know, I think
that's
doing
alright.
the... Yeah, but the one I have currently does double damage to... I think it's double damage. It would be this one here. Yeah, it does double damage if the target is at full health. Which is quite good for a stealth build.
Oh yeah, then just the one you have then.
Scavengers. One more. Piss, I missed. Go. I just need an absolute fuck ton amount of ballistic weave. Fiber optic I think I need? I'm not sure. It's ballistic weave
so, yeah.
I need. I think fiber optic, adhesive, and just a fuck ton of absolutely everything.
Kieran's shop.
Because I'm gonna go... because I think I can get up to Mark 2 currently with level 1 Armorer. What level am I in Armorer?
I thought you had Mark 5 already.
No, I was just having a look at it. Okay, I'm level... Yeah, I'm already level 1 Armorer. I think I can get level 1. It was just, I was having a look at what each of them... Oh, bollocks. Oh. Legendary Hooligan. Come here, dickhead. No, that's just the standard one. How can they see through the smoke? With the fire and the flames. There it is. Punishing leather. Reflects 10% of melee damage. I think relatively good. I think I might go back to leather armor if I'm honest, because the police set looks ugly, and there's also a whole lot of clipping. I might go metal and do some leather sections. I don't know. It's not like it makes a difference in Fallout,
Oh shit.
other than the defense I can get. So I suppose I might as well go for metal.
Out of Tartarus.
Doggo. Seems to have a name, but it's attacking me, so I do not care. It counts as a mongrel. Okay, it's not specifically a name, maybe a breed?
It's just a mixed mud dog.
Yeah. It drops mongrel meat, which is what... Oh, there's a cultist. Cultists are always the funniest to murder, because after they died I'll go, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't help. Or some shit like that.
Guess what? Guess what?
What?
Yeah. Bitch!
What's wrong?
I spilled paint.
Oh no.
Message for
I'm gonna yoink everything at this point. Luckily that has a... Oh wait, no, I've turned that off, so it's a lot nicer. I'm gonna switch to pistol because...
I gotta grab.
Got you.
Fuck it. This just does more damage. Oh! Piss! No! Piss! Piss! Absolute fucking piss! Piss! Fuck! No! You are kidding me!
Power of the gods.
Oh! Fuck!
Next island. I can use this. Hi there.
For fuck's sake! I hate myself.
Here they come.
I've got to go now try and find those 3 skin legendaries again. And it also means that the loot pool will have changed. Fuck's sake, I hate myself! But how? I was nowhere near death.
Goddess Athena. Time for another voyage aboard the barge of death.
No! 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 For fuck's sake! You absolute fucking moron! Ugh. Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot!
More of you, huh?
Absolute fucking mongoloid.
In the name of Hades. I hear something.
might find you all the way.
I can hold my own and...
I haven't, Zag. I'm scared I'll take more of them than you this time.
Oh, absolutely terrified.
Myself.
Another gone.
I really should not have a knife on my desk.
Time's up.
Right there.
That's settled. You got a lot of them.
I told you I don't need your help here, Thanatos.
It wasn't being offered. Just happened to be in the area is all. Carry on
Fuck
as I
me,
wish.
Dad.
No, that was death.
What was Thanatos happened to be there when I said that?
Yes, actually.
To be fair, if I was gay, that would be a guy I would go for. I spilled fucking paint, and I came back after cleaning everything up, and I went, "Fuck me, Dad." And I guess Thanatos was on screen with Restless.
Hydra, you...
So I made a fucking joke.
The game's just like, don't mind if I do.
And then he goes, well, if I was gay, I would.
Look, in the wise words of the one meme I saw, the bisexuals have their fun, Hades. Now it's the bisexuals' turn, Hades 2.
Right. Stop being an idiot and actually do your job. God, I hate myself
I think
so
we need to get
much.
either Yogi or Scarlet to play Hades.
Considering how I'm raging about this, that's not gonna be fun.
Stop! So, whether or not.
I guess I shouldn't worry about black paint drying on a black case.
But to be fair, if you had me playing Hades 1 or 2 every time Aphrodite shows, I would. Or I'd start slamming my desk.
The fucking legendary's gone now and all.
Well, as you said, that's the point of Aphrodite. Everybody would.
Yeah, exactly.
Double shit. Well, this one isn't as bad as the previous one of paint spilling. Go do that.
Legendary's fucking gone.
I know that anger, but don't let it consume you.
I fucking hate the Bone Hydra. And it's not even due to, like, the Bone Hydra being a dick. Bone Hydra is a dick. But the biggest fucking issue is just the lava. I'm very good. I am very bad at fucking don't touch the lava.
I absolutely do.
This way.
You know what? My first victory over the Bone Dragon is why I try to every now and again make sure I have something from Artemis, because the ultimate of hers helped, like, basically nearly one-shotted the thing when I almost died. Of course I died in Elysium next, but...
It took me getting the fucking... It took getting Demeter for Aphrodite to show up when I had a nectar.
Another day or night.
I could not seem to get Aphrodite's nectar.
I was about to say that only... The Ambrosia? Or are you talking about the boon?
her item.
The boon. Her special item. Okay, where you give her ambrosia and she gives you an item.
Yeah.
On a note, Skelly's tooth is the best item. Fight me.
I think I've already leveled up Skelly's tooth all the way.
So you're just leveling up all the other items?
Yeah, I'm leveling up all the items.
Here we go, the cultists.
While also trying to give, like, all the gods all the shit that they need later on in the game. I would still...
Oh, for the true ending?
Yeah. Even though I haven't eaten Hades yet. Which is weird, because Demir's not supposed to show up until you beat Hades.
Doesn't she... I think she shows up, like, if you fail against Hades, because you finally got to see snow.
Oh, okay, that answers my question.
Maybe. I could be wrong.
Because I ended up beating Hades, like, the first thing, and then went, haha, I finally beat the game, and then it's like, oh, nope, he has another fucking
He has a second phase.
And then I forgot that I needed to hide behind the pillars. So I kind of died.
Feeling tough.
I'm gonna have to now order me another pot of paint now.
Oh no. Fuck. That sucks.
Like, there's still some in there, but... nearly out. Looks like a squid came in and tried to assault me over my garbage can now.
The Bull of Minos.
You have met the champion, the king. Let us.
You mean face both of
Take that as you will.
Which doesn't seem particular.
I've lost that
Any
one
other...
2 fucking legendaries now because really annoying.
Wait,
that
if I
fucking leather
fight
armor
the bull,
quite good.
If I fight the bull, before I get to the final fight in Elysium, it's Elysium?
Yeah, it's Elysium.
Do I have to fight him again when I get to that fight, or do I just fight what's his face?
You have to fight him again, but he's at a lower health.
That sucks.
Okay, it's fiberglass that I need.
Okay, now to do the carapace I missed.
Good, he's getting up. I'm gonna yoink the chair and wait for 2 days. Put the beret back on.
Why, thank you.
Yes.
Have you fought the Bone Hydra enough for Zagreus to give it a name?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, if you fight him enough, Zagreus finally decides to give it a name, and...
No, but
Restless, you give it a name?
It did change to pink.
There we go, that's what it was. You might have not been paying attention then, because there's like a line of dialogue where he's like, you know, I think I'm tired of calling you Bone Hydra. I think I'll just call you, you know, Pink.
Well, like, the fucking, like, its horns turned pink. He didn't say, oh, I'm calling you Pink.
Oh, well, I think that's another situation then. I think that's just the Bone Hydra doing stuff, trying to... What's the word?
It might be...
Oh yeah, indicate an attack.
Well, it was like, he mentioned, like, oh, you've changed.
Oh. That might have been something I forgot too. That might have been a thing as well, but...
Because the fucking horns changed to fucking pink instead of orange. For some fucking reason. Exactly, it's just like, huh, he changed.
He's back.
Huh.
If you fight the... Yeah, no, if you keep playing... If you, like, you know, die enough in the game, I think he straight up just gives it a name, and then it just shows you the name of the Hydra.
More strongbows.
Alright. And the final painting touches before basing. Why am I using this brush? Where's my Psycho brush?
I hate that I have to sit down to wait in Fallout 4. It's like my least favorite change.
Yeah, that is kind of a stupid thing, where it's like, you have to sit down. Like, look, I understand standing around for 24 hours didn't necessarily make sense either, but, you know, at least you could wait anytime you wanted.
Yep. It's an RPG, not an immersive sim.
Some people try to treat it as an immersive sim.
It's still an RPG.
Well, RPGs and immersive sims usually fall in line with each other, don't they?
Yeah, but...
So now I'm gonna have to order me another frickin' pot of black Templar. Because I wanted to use that paint for my wolves, but...
Fiberglass. Fiberglass. Cruise.
This
I don't think I need
instructional
enough
video.
stuff. So I need fiberglass is what I need. Right, that should be enough for, I hope, level 2. I now need to head to Camden. I might also do a quick Google to see where I can find a backpack. What?
I'm being a smartass, shut up.
I greet you, cousin.
Here's the fee.
Right.
Rematch.
We're well equipped to deal with usual.
Okay. So that's relatively near where I started. There's the train crash.
Fuck you and fuck your shield. I say it, having fucking, like, dash on Prometheus and, like, several other things from all I can say is I do not like these guys.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers get boots?
I've just been reminded my fucking... I both hate and love the fact that Fat Fuck Boo is no longer dead, whatever. It's no longer lost media. I think I've just rickrolled myself because Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up has just started playing. I know it's a cover. Never mind. That. Yeah, we'll.
Gimme.
Should be another such performance soon.
Must I send Cerberus to block your path again?
You're just gonna
Almost to
do
the top. Leave
anyway.
Cerberus out of this.
It's advanced, which means I'm going to need to go round. Considering the fact that this is a starting thing.
The edge of Father's realm.
Yeah. Oh, and it might be AI. Oh no, that's just how Zentreadler sounds.
Let's see what's in here.
Listen to Evil Doom because it is just a more superior song. I guess I'm gonna have to go through the wall. Sorry about the wall, mate. Yeah, I do not like how that looks. Take that off, sooner the better. Angle battle coat. Army fatigues. Actually, I'm going to leave the Roundel battle coat on. We'll actually do something. The only thing I hate about it specifically is this. Around here somewhere. And it was just too fucking good to regret. I love that song, it is actually grand. It would be nice to see. Yes.
Worth it.
Let's activate the beacon.
It's covered even. I don't think so.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm rich. I'm not dead yet. Should be able to get back through here. I'll take it.
Yes. No idea where it is. Mainly because I can they fucking see. Okay, so it is this one here.
Farthest I've come.
Oh, there's a backpack.
Love how Pyrocynical and his viewers can just just sum up something as Le Blanc.
There we go, that brings up my carry capacity even more.
Like it's all in the head.
Yeah. And then he's like, and I'm watching this one where he's watching the Greylock analog horror, and he's like, "Oh, is this gonna be like where the one is the moon is Labad?"
Deep within the desert. Cerberus just loves the stuff. Maybe I should check the other passageways before I leave.
Cerberus again.
Almost done with this combat patrol.
I'm probably gonna die.
Thank you, boy.
Damn.
Slow, please don't be so negative. You're doing fine.
Oh, I ran out of fucking deaths, and I'm about to go up to Hades.
To do. Isn't that
And I've got,
You
I
could
think,
do
like
it.
60-something hit points left.
You can do it.
No, I
you
can't.
can do it. You can do it. RESTLESS. You could do it. Restless. Ignore the fact that I just forgot how to spell your name.
Where'd he go?
Big blob there. There we go.
Wrestlers of the underworld, heed me and rise from the earth to do my bidding.
Handle this yourself.
Dirt.
Shut up! And there is still clipping even on them. But that is medium armor. How the fuck is it bright as shit in Hackney, but London was freaking freezingly cold?
Hey, Nick. I died. Clearly.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I see how it is. Favoritism. By the way, if you're saying anything, let me know, because I'm currently not in your stream.
Besides
Which actually I
hello,
should be.
nothing.
Fair trade.
I should be in your stream, actually, just to boost it up by 1. System.
Okay. Now I gotta wait for that to dry, and then I can be finished with it. But now, Novi, am I too late?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know do that.
Not
I don't
right now.
I'm sure nobody's
I can still play for now. I'm just in the middle of a ranked. I'm in the middle of a ranked match.
All right, let me know when you're finished so I can just boot up Siege.
Honestly, I've got maybe 1 to 4 rounds left. No, not even that. 1 to 3 rounds left.
Your father is not here.
On your
anymore.
current game?
Yes, I think so.
I have to effectively either win 3 times in a row, or I have to die
Hey, with
once.
backpack, how much am I actively
Whereas
carrying?
my team is...
Whoa.
What can I say? I try.
Yep. Do I even have it? I do have a chemistry
Mate,
save.
I'm not even joking, right?
Deadly serious.
I blew some people up.
Having to care for
Yeah.
I got the diffuser.
Antibiotics. I need
Like, I knew
purified water.
where that was.
Well, at least I don't need anything particular.
Alright.
Hey, good to see you
Okay,
back
I'll
here,
be
boy.
back
So
real quick. I'm
everybody
gonna.
was
Back on
the
guard duty.
Go
diffuser
ahead.
while the defenders were also while the attackers were also rushing the diffuser.
See you.
Ah.
So
Alright, army fatigue.
Let's see.
Leave.
Alright, I'll be back real quick.
What's the latest?
Okay, I have enough of everything to put into Mark 5. I just don't have armor rank 4. I'll put it into Mark 2, and then I'll need to pick up some more ballistic fiber. Because that gives me a lot more damage resistance. But I can actually probably get rid of some of it. Auto stim, studded leather.
No more darkness.
Let's go back to leather. Fucking prick. I don't have studded leather no more. Oh, where's my leather gone? Help.
Baratha. Baratha, awaken. All set.
Chameleon metal leg. I should have a sprinter's metal right leg. Right, what am I missing? I'm missing an
I am going to.
a.
come on, I'm done.
Oh, right arm.
I hate I'm playing Siege. I'm playing rank specifically, right?
Yeah.
And they're not pairing me up with team players. They're pairing me up with people who are just all hungry for the kill.
I'm gonna raid you.
She's got the looks.